and welcome to episode 3 of Can I Do It Better with Ajax, the Champions League edition as we're kind of subheading it. So this is our opportunity to try and see if we can better the results of Ajax in their 2018-19 season, specifically in the Champions League. The only games that I'll be playing on the episodes during this series is purely their Champions League games. So considering they reached the semi-final, it's going to be a really tough challenge. We started with a fairly injury-laden squad, which is a bit of a problem. But hopefully as the season progresses, that will become far easier to cope with. But yeah, so far we're still in the end of the pre-season, really. We've just played our final pre-season friendly against a Portuguese side, Forense. We've got a 1-0 win in that game. We've already been through our qualifying round against Sturm Graz. We've got another qualifying round today. So this is the best placed third qualifying phase. And it's the first leg against Slavia Prague. So that will be the game today. In terms of other bits and pieces to tell you about, we have done a couple of little bits of transfer business. So if we go and have a look at our transfer history, the last episode you saw that Elena came in from Barcelona on loan, is now eligible to play for us. We've brought in 2 other players, one on loan and one on a permanent deal. The first player on loan is Simon Makienok, and he's a Danish international. And he's a striker, but he's a target man, and that's what I wanted. I wanted something different than the other 2 guys that are a bit more mobile, a bit more sort of shot happy, as it were. This guy has got a bit more about him in terms of his heading ability and his jumping reach, etc. So I wanted a different sort of striker to come in and play as the third choice, just in case we're having issues and need an alternative solution to it. So he's coming into the side. Into the squad, should I say, so that's good. And the other player that we brought in is Nicolas Sanchez. He's an Argentinian defender, quite an aging one now, 32, but I wanted a little bit of experience at the back. We've got quite a young back line in parts, so I wanted a bit of experience there. So he's come in to fill that 4th central defender role, so he'll rotate occasionally with some of the other guys. Won't necessarily be our first choice, but will be a good alternative when we need him to be. So those are the 2 bits of transfer business that we've done, and pretty much as soon as Sanchez was over the line, we then got put on a transfer embargo because of this rumoured takeover that we're getting. So until that happens, we can't really do much else. That's not too bad now. The squad has taken shape. We've brought in quite a few of our young players from sort of lower teams in our setup, in our under-21s and all that kind of stuff. Couldn't get my thoughts together then. We've got a reserve side and we've got an under-19s, and it's those that have provided a couple of players. So the likes of Gravenberch and Ekelenkamp, and a couple of others in there, Schurz, have all come from those sort of sides to fill up our squad a little bit, and we'll get occasional game time here and there to help their development, but won't be first team regulars. So as you can see, the squad's taking shape. If in any way the transfer embargo is lifted because we have a takeover or it falls through or whatever, we might see if we can sneak in 1 or 2 more, but if it's not to be, then we'll just have to get on with it. That's all really that's happened. The finances are pretty stable now. I've rejigged it slightly to make it a little bit more stable. You can see that we haven't even played a game in the league yet, so we're still just at that point in the season. But today is another opportunity to try and qualify for the group stages of the Champions League, Slavia Prague. Let's go and have a look at the team that we've got out. We've got a couple of injury issues shown, Dolberg and Huntelaar. Dolberg is now out for anywhere between 3 and 6 weeks, and Huntelaar is now out for anywhere between 7 and 10 weeks. On top of the other injury issues that we've had already in the club, with people that we've had to move out of the first team squad for a while because they're going to be out for about 7-8 months. It's been a bad start in terms of injuries, but we're coping the best way we can. So today's team is going to be Onana in goal, Christensen at right back, Tagliafico at left back, Magellan and De Ligt in central defence, De Jong and Van Beek in central midfield, Labiad as the attacking midfield player, Ziyech on the right, Tadic on the left, and Makienok up front, as both our other strikers are injured. On the bench we've got Schurz, Mazraoui, still not sure on that pronunciation, Regulon, Elena, Cerny, Neres and Ekelenkamp. So that's the team. that's everything that's been going on in the background since the last time we were together. So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So after a very successful first game in our Champions League qualification programme, I'm expecting nothing but the same today. So I've just told them passionately, go out there and impress me. I want them to put on a show and get a decent result, even though we're away from home, and see whether we can put this tie to bed in the first game and then comfortably play the second game with no pressure on us. So let's see how we get on. So we're away from home, which is, always a bit more tricky. We're in our black kit today, so we'll see how we get on. And that's the end of the initial kickoff highlight. So nothing happened right from kickoff, but we'll see what the stats of the game show as the game progresses. You can see that we're on 72% possession at the moment, so you can see that we're starting well in our patient style, trying to move the ball fairly slowly and sort of draw them out of their defensive areas so we can get in behind them and try and get a couple of attempts at goal. Opportunity on the right hand side from a throw-in, cuts into Van Beek on the edge of the box, long shot. Is it tipped round the goalkeeper, the post by the keeper? It was. So we now get a corner kick. Tadic with the corner kick, left-footed, cuts into the centre of the 6-yard box, but the goalkeeper was completely unchallenged, came out and gathered it comfortably. So although the stats of the game show, again, just like the previous qualifying round, they're not having a chance against us, which is brilliant, but we're not able to unlock them particularly well. We're not really showing our attacking dominance. We're just keeping the ball away from them and sort of stifling them a bit. I guess for an away performance, that's not a bad tactic to use, really. But I would hope as the season progresses that we might become a bit more fluent and flamboyant in our style of play moving forward. So let's assertively say you've been unlucky so far, and see if that enables them to continue to push forward in the second half. But I am happy with a decent performance like this, where we don't feel like we're being really pushed by the opposition. But I would like us to do a little bit more ourselves. So we nick the ball there, which is very positive. Across to Tadic in the centre of midfield, forward to Van Beek, and now he goes out left to Tagliafico. If he can keep it in, he does. Can he get the cross in? He does, on the header for our new target man, but the goalkeeper got down enough and got the ball away. Decent opportunity. It wasn't the best cross in the world, and wasn't the best header really either, but it was at least an attempt on a highlight to show that we are pushing a little bit to try and get that away goal. Coming up to about the 65-minute mark, we get another opportunity down the left-hand side with Labiad, who's gone out there to get involved with the play. Cuts across wide right now to Ziyech, who will continue to go right to Christensen. Can he get a better cross in? Cross comes in again. Oh, header was decent, but it was just slightly wide of the post. And you can see the benefit of having a target man there who's got a decent heading ability. Cross comes in on the corner, but the header goes over the top of the bar. The goalkeeper came out flapping a little bit, but we didn't make him pay for it really, did we? Frankie de Jong is struggling a little bit conditioning wise, so we're going to take him off and bring Elena on. Ready-made replacement now. Those two will rotate quite happily between that position. And then we're looking at some of our attacking midfield line really, that I'm not particularly happy that they're doing enough. So we're going to bring a couple of them off. So let's see what we're going to do. We are going to take Ziyech off, and we're going to bring Cherny on, and we're going to bring Labiad off, and we're going to bring Eklenkamp on. Give a youngster an opportunity to show what he can do. Last 15 minutes of the game or so, hopefully that we can grab something from it. It's been a bit dull, even though well controlled, I would say, so far. Ultimately, if that's how the season pans out, it will make for good results, but not necessarily for good viewing. And there's the end of that particular game. So we might have to tweak our style of play a little bit. But also, as the team gets used to playing with each other a little bit, then those sort of performances and the flair will begin to show, I hope, as we progress through the game. So in terms of team talk at the end of the game, I'm going to suggest calmly that they were unlucky. I thought they did quite well in terms of the controlling of the game, but not really on their conversion of the chances that we created. Apparently not everybody's happy by that, but okay, that's fair enough. We'll have to go with that for now. There's not much we can do once we've said these things. We've said these things and they respond how they want to. Ajax missed the chance to win, and that's how I would suggest it was. Really, we controlled the game enough to really warrant winning that particular match, but we didn't. Let's hope that it doesn't come back to bite us in the next game. In the next game that we play, obviously it will be the second leg. It's not that far off in the future. It's only about a week away in terms of game time, so I'll be back for that in the next episode. It's just a bit disappointing today, wasn't it? Really, a bit flat. Hopefully there'll be more news on the takeover situation and the transfer embargo next time we're together. I'll keep an eye out for any of the news items towards that. But until next time, if you're enjoying the series, why not subscribe to the channel? If that will keep you up to date with the videos. If you like this particular episode, then why not chuck a like on it for me? That helps me get seen by other people. If you're playing Football Manager yourself, then let me know how you're getting on in your save below in the comments. But until next time, take care of yourselves. I will see you soon, and bye for now.